I'd like to call this meeting to order and ask that you all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Tamer, will you call the roll, please?
Udara.
Here.
Park.
Here.
Conquest. Absent. Bastido.
Here.
Mulliner.
Here.
Brennan.
Here.
Varimus.
Here.
Deuter.
Here.
Dunn.
Here.
Hill.
Here.
Palumski.
Here.
Jensen.
Here.
Toludo.
Here.
Cahill. Absent. 12 present, 2 absent.
12 present, 2 absent. We have a quorum. Item 3, receipt of written communications from the public. Is there any member of the public that has a written communication that they would like to deliver to the council? If so, please raise your hand. All right, there being none, we'll move on to item 4, public forum. Clerk Tamer, is anyone signed up to speak at public forum this evening?
There's no one signed up, Mayor.
All right, and is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak at public forum but did not have the opportunity to sign in before the meeting began? There are none. Thank you. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Item 5. Is there any alderman that would like to remove any item from the consent agenda? There being none, Clerk Tamer, I would ask if you would read the consent agenda.
5.1, minutes of the executive session meeting of the Elmhurst City Council on May 2nd, 2022. 5.2, minutes of the regular meeting of the Elmhurst City Council on May 16th, 2022. 5.3, accounts payable June 6, 2022, totaling $4,260,342.11. 5.4, appointment to the Zoning and Planning Commission, Bill Touloupoulos. 5.5, appointment to the City of Elmhurst and Elmhurst University Commission, Bruce A. King and Joan M. Willem. 5.6, report King Transmission PUD extension request. 5.7, report case 22 P05 McKenna final plat of subdivision Schiller and Clinton. 5.8, report case 22 ZBA 04 Aegis Construction Group Inc. signed variations 33-1 North York. 5.9, report Elmhurst City Center Summer Concert Series. 5.10, report Emroy Avenue parking restrictions, Crestview Park parking. 5.11, report memorandum of understanding between Elmhurst Park District and City of Elmhurst for Metropolitan Family Services. 5.12, an ordinance granting a conditional use permit for a planned unit development with a site development allowance for the construction of an addition to the building located at the property commonly known as 900 North Industrial Drive, Elmhurst, Illinois. 5.13, an ordinance amending section 3.17 entitled Board of Fire and Police Commissioners and section 3.18 entitled of chapter 3 3.18 entitled Board of Fire Police Commissioners Rules of Chapter 3 entitled City Administration of the Elmhurst Municipal Code regarding the hiring of police officers. 5.14, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of the First Amendment to the Sales Tax Sharing Agreement between the City of Elmhurst and Motorsports, Inc., and Tim Walter and Hader Saba as personal guarantors of dated August 20th, 2017. 5.15, an ordinance authorizing the execution of a sales tax rebate agreement between the City of Elmhurst and Motorsports, Inc. 5.16, a resolution authorizing the purchase of rock salt for use within the City of Elmhurst. 5.17, a resolution authorizing the purchase of LED streetlight fixtures and LED streetlight lamps for the City of Elmhurst, Illinois. 5.18, a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the Illinois State Toll Highway Authority and the City of Elmhurst, and a longitudinal pipeline agreement between Union Pacific Railroad Company and the City of Elmhurst. 5.19, a resolution to create the City of Elmhurst Walking and Biking Working Group.
Thank you, Clerk Tamer. May I have a motion to put the consent agenda before the council? Alderman Palumski, second Alderman Jensen. Clerk Tamer, call the roll.
Nudera.
Aye.
Park.
Aye.
Conquest, absent. Bastido,
Aye.
Mulliner,
Aye.
Brennan,
Aye.
Verimas,
Aye.
Deuter,
Aye.
Dunn,
Aye.
Hill,
Aye.
Palumski,
Aye.
Jensen,
Aye.
Toledo,
Aye.
Cahill, absent. 12 ayes, 0 nays.
12 ayes, 0 nays, 2 absent. The consent agenda is adopted. Item 6.1, report. Clerk Tamer, would you read the report, please?
Pull it up here. Therefore, the Development Planning and Zoning Committee recommends that the City Council approve a conditional use permit for a final plan unit development with site development allowances, map amendment from R1 to R4, 278 West Butterfield and 290 West Butterfield, final plat of subdivision at the properties commonly known as 278 and 290 West Butterfield Road and 1 through 5 and 1,000 to 1080 Elm Creek Drive in Elmhurst, Illinois, with the following condition. The applicant shall work with the city staff on easement locations for utilities. This includes the properties subject to the request and reconfiguring with the adjacent Eldridge Townhome Development utility easements. The city attorney is hereby directed to prepare the necessary documents for city council approval.
Motion to put the report before the Alderman Palumski.
I'd like to pull this back to committee for further discussion.
All right, if there's no the chair's prerogative, then item 6.1 will be sent back to committee for further discussion. Thank you. Item 6.2, Clerk Tamer, please read the report.
Second. It is therefore the recommendation of the Public Works and Buildings Committee that the prioritization of stormwater improvement projects for 12 additional, is that the wrong one, guys?
That is not the correct report.
All right, hold on.
The recommendation.
Oh, yeah,
Yep, sorry.
page 4.
It's fair, okay. It is therefore the recommendation of the Finance, Council Affairs, and Administrative Services Committee that the city move forward with the issuance of an RFP for a stormwater fee study.
Right.
Signed,
Go ahead.
Bob Dunn, Chair, Jennifer Verimas, Alderwoman, Noel P. Toledo, Vice Chair, and Chris Johnson, Alderman. I'm sorry about the chop up on that, guys.
That's all right. Things aren't in the usual order we expected for you, Clerk Tamer, so.
That's okay.
All right, may I have a motion to put report 6.2, item 6.2 before the council? Motion by Alderman Dunn, second by Alderman Toledo. Alderman Dunn.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Finance Committee has been reviewing our financial position regarding our stormwater debt for quite a few meetings and quite a few months now. And what we have before us here in terms of this report is the Finance Committee has a high level of interest in further examining a stormwater fee as a possible way to fund some of this debt service that we have for our many, many stormwater projects. So we are requesting to issue an RFP to conduct a study which is estimated to be between what does it say here, around $75,000 to $90,000, which would give us a lot of clarity into the feasibility of this fee, how good of a fit it was for Elmhurst, and the administration of it, which is something that we're concerned about. So that's the ask today. We're asking for the council's support on that. As far as the financial position, you can see that the report outlines the 13 projects that have already been done, totaling about 130 acre-feet, helping about 464 homes, $38 million in expenditures for those projects. Those were funded with some bond issues, 4 different ones between 2015 and 2019. We implemented a home rule sales tax back in 2016, of 0.25%, a 0.25% on sales tax to help fund our stormwater debt obligation. And at the time, I think we felt that was possibly all we would need. But as we progressed in proceeding with more of these projects, the debt service, as one can expect, has grown. In the report, there's reference to a report that Public Works put out last year, prioritizing the stormwater projects that have not been done, and this was reviewed extensively by the Public Works Committee. We're looking at 12 projects on that list. The first 7 projects we put into our funding plan because of the cost versus the number of homes that it helps. The projects 8 through 12 we set aside for now because of the high cost per home of them. Those 7 projects, the 6 of them combined cost about $1 million, and then the Spring Road project would cost about $6 million and help 70 homes. The Spring Road project is more of a commercial project that there is potential to get grants for that, but right now we are planning the funding of that. We also have 5 stormwater facilities, pumps, stations that are well overdue to be upgraded and repaired. And I was talking to our finance director earlier about those, and the upgrading of the mechanicals of it and the electrical, and then the building codes have changed. These are not cheap projects. They're generally a couple $1 million each, but it's part of managing a stormwater system. So we have the current debt, and then this upcoming couple projects that we expect to conduct over the next few years. There's a graph in the report which you can see the current home rule sales tax, how much that would fund versus our expected debt service to fund all these projects, and we're quite underfunded. So it's no doubt that we have to implement some measures to be able to fund this debt service. Committee was not really highly interested in increasing that home rule sales tax. We were concerned that it would put our businesses at a little bit of a competitive disadvantage compared to the surrounding communities. So we were looking for alternate ways. And the 2 ways that were most appropriate were not abating the debt service on those bonds, which means that they would go on to the property tax in those years that we do not abate that debt service, and the stormwater fee, as I mentioned. So we're looking at those 2 methods to be able to fund this. The stormwater fee study would entail an RFP selecting the best provider of that. It would be divided into 2 phases. One would be how would this fee be structured, and how would it impact the individual homeowners, and if the results of that phase 1 study were acceptable to the committee and the council, then we would proceed with phase 2, which would be implementing that stormwater fee, and those are issues like billing and how to implement that fee. That's what we have before us. We're looking at kicking off this study as soon as possible. I think it's about a 6-month study is what we're expecting before we have some concrete results to move forward. The decision might be that the stormwater fee is not the best for Elmhurst as a result of the study, but we feel it has merit to examine further, and that's why we're asking for your support to move forward with the stormwater fee study at this time. Thanks.
Thank you, Alderman Dunn. Additional discussion? Alderman Brennan.
Thank you, Mayor. So first off, I'd like to thank the committee. These stormwater projects and stormwater in general is a very expensive endeavor to undertake. And I think it's made Elmhurst better as a city, more reliable when we have these types of storms come through. This has my full support, and I really appreciate you doing the diligence that's required to do the right thing. Thank you.
Alderman Deuter.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to start by acknowledging the continued excellence of reports that come out of the Finance Committee. As is typically the case, the finance report before us tonight is detailed, includes supporting information, and walks through the committee's deliberation. Thanks to the committee members and to city staff for presenting the information in a way that is informative to the council and the public. One other general note, this report reflects the depth of discussions that take place in committee and is a good reminder for all of us, especially the public, that if there is an issue of interest, come to committee to hear the deliberation and offer comment. On to stormwater. The city undertook the stormwater projects as a necessity. We were experiencing widespread flooding, not due to an increase in impervious surface, but because the amount of water falling from the sky in an extreme storm event is more than our aging stormwater system was designed to handle. The city's aggressive approach to stormwater management includes projects and new policies. We now have more areas to hold the rain that falls in heavy storms, policies that require runoff increases to be held on site, and policies to incentivize and help pay for additional stormwater storage. The primary issue underlying the report is that we need to identify sources of revenue to pay for the stormwater projects that have been completed or are anticipated, including the replacement of 4 very expensive stormwater pump stations, which Alderman Dunn mentioned. The report outlines a couple of potential revenue sources and concludes with a recommendation that the city move forward with the issuance of an RFP for the stormwater fee study. I support the report as part of the committee's due diligence to reach a conclusion on the sources of revenue for our stormwater fund, but I also want to comment on the concept of a stormwater fee. Because we already have policies in place to control for increases in impervious surface and to incentivize the creation of additional stormwater, I don't think that we'd be well served by a complex stormwater fee that does the same and is complicated and expensive to administer. To be clear, not a person sitting up here nor a single resident wants to see taxes or fees increase. I appreciate the work by the committee and staff to thoughtfully consider the options.
Thank you, Alderman Deuter. Any other comments? Seeing none, I will ask Clerk Tamer to call the roll on the...
I'm sorry, go ahead. Nudera?
Aye.
Park?
Aye.
Hanquist, absent. Bastido?
Aye.
Mulliner?
Aye.
Brennan?
Aye.
Barimas?
Aye.
Deuter?
Aye.
Dunn?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Palumski?
Aye.
Jensen?
Aye.
Toledo?
Aye.
Cahill, absent. 12 ayes, 0 nays, 2 absent.
12 ayes, 0 nays, 2 absent. Item 6.2 passes. Moving on to item 7, resolutions. Clerk Tamer, when you're ready, please read the resolution.
Resolution to approve and authorize the execution of a memorandum of understanding between the City of Elmhurst, Illinois, and the Elmhurst Park District for providing social services. See item 5.11.
All right. Motion to bring this resolution before the council. Motion by Alderman Deuter, second by Alderman Hill. Alderman Deuter.
Thank you, Mayor. This resolution follows a report that we approved tonight earlier on the consent agenda, and the resolution is approving a memorandum of understanding between the city and the Park District. It's a great example of cooperation between our two governmental entities that's in the interest of our city residents. So most folks know up here that we contract with Metropolitan Family Services to provide counseling and other supportive services to seniors or senior caregivers. That service now is housed at City Hall, and it's a little bit tucked away. So following the recommendation of our senior commission, that service is moving to the Park District's new older adult recreation center. And this service, I think the services will be of much higher visibility. They'll probably get used more, and it's really in line with the senior commission's view that there will be a one-stop shop for seniors in our community. So our counseling services that we make available will be housed at that center, and what we're approving tonight gives Metropolitan Family Services the opportunity to get into the facility in time for the opening later this month.
Thank you, Alderman Deuter. Additional discussion? I will also add that our senior commission, in particular its chair, Kathy Jordan, has put a lot of effort into working this through. With that being said?
Nudera?
Aye.
Park?
Aye.
Conquest? Absent. Bastido?
Aye.
Mulliner?
Aye.
Brennan?
Aye.
Barimas?
Aye.
Deuter?
Aye.
Dunn?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Palumski?
Aye.
Jensen?
Aye.
Toledo?
Aye.
Cahill's absent. 12 ayes, 0 nays, 2 absent.
12 ayes, 0 nays, 2 absent. Item 7.1 passes. Item 8, reports and recommendations of elected and appointed officials. 8.1, Mayor Levin. For those who don't know, I regretfully announced the passing of Police Chief Michael Ruth, who passed away on Sunday, May 29th, 2022, at the hospital surrounded by family members while recovering from a medical procedure. Chief Ruth was a dedicated police professional. He served 44 years in law enforcement. He began as a dispatcher in Alsip and a patrol officer in hometown before joining the Skokie Police Department in 1981, where he served in many roles, rising to the rank of commander in 2010. He was then selected as the police chief for the village of Countryside, where he served from 2010 to 2012, after which he began leading the Elmhurst Police Department, where he served for the last 10 years, helping build a strong community-supported police department, implementing a lot of new crime prevention technologies and achieving a Tier 1 state accreditation for our police department. He also contributed to the profession of the law enforcement as an adjunct professor teaching criminal justice students at the University of Illinois Chicago and Governor State University. He was a graduate of the 207th session of the FBI National Academy, and he was a past president of the West Suburban Chiefs of Police Association. Chief Ruth was described by many as a strong leader, a trusted director, and a highly respected member of our city's team. He will be remembered for his fearless guidance, outstanding commitment to his work, and tireless support in providing Elmhurst with high-quality public safety service. Above all, he believed in the nobility of the Elmhurst Police Department's work and the professionalism of our members. Our city has suffered a tremendous loss. However, I'm comforted knowing that the chief was a mentor to many and that his commitment to the highest level of public safety and standards of our community will live on. Deputy Chief Mike McLean, who we all know has been serving as acting police chief in Chief Ruth's absence, and he will continue as interim police chief. On this Friday, June 10th, the public is invited to join us in lining the route for Chief Ruth's memorial procession. Actually, I should say before that we will have at 10 o'clock a.m. on the police station grounds on First Street, we will have a memorial ceremony, after which the public can join us in lining the route for Chief's memorial procession. Starting at 11 a.m. following the service, the procession will travel south on York Street from Palmer Drive to Roosevelt Road, And so you can join us in honoring Police Chief's life and public service by either attending the ceremony at the police station or by watching from the route. I'm going to ask that our city flags at City Hall and the police department be lowered starting tomorrow at half-mast until through Friday when we complete the memorial service ceremony for the chief. And I hope that those members of the council who are available in town can join us for this very important service honoring the chief. And you see we're wearing pins with the police department insignia and some memorial colors. Still on the police topic, but a little more lighthearted, Cops and Bobbers Fishing Derby will be sponsored by the Elmhurst Police Department on June 12th from 9 a.m. to noon at Eldridge Park Adventure Day. The prizes will be awarded to kids who catch the longest fish or can create the story of the longest, longest fish or the most fish in 3 different age categories. So bring your fishing pole and gather the kids at a memorable fishing event at Eldridge Park Pond. This is a great chance for kids to meet our police officers who serve our community. The Elmhurst Fire Department has the Save Our Pets program to keep your pets safe in the event of an emergency. The Elmhurst Fire Department is encouraging all pet owners to participate in Save Our Pets. The purpose of the program is to allow first responders to quickly identify homes with pets such as Alderman Veramus, so that in case of an emergency, they know what types of pets live in the home and how many pets to look for. Pets are family, so let us know who from your pet family needs rescuing in the event of emergency. For more information, go to elmhurst.org/save-our-pets, elmhurst.org/save-our-pets. Still on the fire department agenda is Sparky's Elmhurst Fire Safety Club. The fire department invites all children up to ages 10 years old who reside in Elmhurst to become members of Sparky's Fire Safety Club. Join by submitting a form at elmhurst.org/Sparky Club. Sparky will reply back with quarterly by mail with fire safety tips, activities, and information on upcoming events. 2 more items, back to the police. We have to keep going back and forth. This is the Elmhurst Police Department Bicycle Patrol Unit and Summer Mobile Patrol Unit provide officers with opportunities for community engagement while on patrol. The Bicycle Unit and Summer Mobile Patrol Unit have grown and evolved into an integral part of the department's enforcement and community relations effort. Both units are used on a daily basis with officers either riding the bicycles on regularly scheduled shifts or signing up to ride the Summer Mobile Patrol Unit. Several patrol vehicles are equipped with bike racks so that the officers can take the bikes with them ride them on a daily basis. The program has been well received by the public and promotes a greater relationship between the officers, our youth, and the community. And lastly, on another somber note, the Elmhurst University City 19th Century baseball game was held this Saturday. And once again, the university defeated the city team by 12-6. So we've really set them up next year for a thrashing. But thank you to our director, Dave Oberg, who put together a very wonderful, entertaining event. We had probably 70 people there at least who cheered on. The university president made the defeat less stinging by bringing out the last batch of its I'm going to say one last time, sesquicentennial beer supply of 1871 blueberry-flavored beer. And we thank the university for that as well. Well, who thought the mayor's report would be the longest part of any city council agenda? See what you can do, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. On the police and community policing side, to add to what you said, the neighborhood roll calls have started as well. There have been 2 so far. They've been very well attended. The next one, which would be tomorrow night, because they're on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m., will be at Schiller and Caroline. And please check the Elmhurst Police Facebook page for information each week. A few other items that I have. The annual water quality report has been published and is now available at the city website. So we encourage residents to take a look at that. It contains important information about the source and quality of our drinking water. And if anyone would like an explanation of the report, if you are having trouble understanding it, please call City Hall. We're happy to have someone explain that to you. Regarding the First Street Bridge, the city owns two bridges. The First Street Bridge and the Park Avenue Bridge is over Palmer Drive. They were built in the 70s and need some maintenance. And so this year, First Street Bridge is being done. It's being done with state grant funds, the Rebuild Project, which we have been saving money for this project since 2020. That will commence Monday, June 13th. They've done some work underneath I think they call them fall curtains to catch debris have been installed, but the bridge will be closed on June 13th, and a detour will be in place utilizing Schiller for those who need to get around. You've probably seen it, and the trolley is up and going for the summer. It started this past weekend. Free to all residents and non-residents, quite honestly. We want them to shop here too. It's a 30-minute loop around our 3 business districts, and there will be many events happening on the trolley as well, so please check the city website or explore Elmhurst for more details and to access the trolley tracker. And last item I have is that the farmers market has also started. That kicked off June 1st, runs every Wednesday from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. through October. And that is in the parking lot on Vallette Street, just east of York, behind the Knights of Columbus Hall. And of course, you can get to there from Explore Elmhurst or elmhurstfarmersmarket.com.
Thank you, City Manager. One question, how long is the First Street Bridge going to be out?
That will be closed to the end of July.
Thank you very much. All right. Any other reports and recommendations from elected or appointed officials? Alderman Bastido.
It's now a time to make an announcement, if I'd like to, about recognizing Pride Month. Is this the time in the agenda where I can do that?
Recognizing?
Pride Month.
Yes, please do.
Okay, so I just did want to say that, June is Pride Month, where we can celebrate the LGBT community. And in Elmhurst, there is a lot of ways this month to celebrate that Elmhurst is for everyone. So you can go to the Elmhurst Pride Collective's Facebook page for more events, but I wanted to highlight the 5th annual Family Pride Fest, which is June 25th from noon to 3 at Elmhurst Presbyterian Church. And I wanted to thank the Elmhurst Pride Collective for making our downtown really beautiful this month. There were, I think, around 35 businesses that participated in the opportunity to paint their windows of their businesses with rainbows and colorful drawings. So, and I'd also like to thank Alderman Jensen's daughter for loaning me this rainbow button that I'm wearing tonight on the dais. Thank you.
Alderman Bastido. Any other announcements? There being none, Alderman Varamis, excuse me.
Thank you. A few weeks ago, we had the Spring Road Pet Parade, and I just want to thank the fire department and, of course, the police department that came out and assisted us. The police department handed out reusable dog bowls. The fire department brought Sparky out for everyone. It was a great event, and Mayor Levin showed up early, set up tents, tables, organized volunteers, so thank you very much. We're very appreciative. And then also everyone who participated and came out to watch the Memorial Day Parade. It's a very important day, and it's been 2 years since we were able to have the parade, and it was great to see all the volunteers and all the participants back this year. And it's always such an honor to participate in that, and a beautiful ceremony as always in Wilder Park. So thank you to everyone.
Thank you, Alderman Rivas. I was remiss for not noting our Memorial Day Parade, and I will say the Spring Road, the highlight was watching McGruff, the crime dog, get into a boxing match with Sparky, the fire dog. I won't tell you who won, but all right. Any other reports and recommendations? All right. Item 9, other business. Is there any other business to be brought before the council? There being none. Item 10, adjournment. Motion to adjourn by Alderman Mulliner, second by Alderman Brennan. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.